Hi, I'm Tim,
Hi, I'm Emmanuel.
and today we're going to teach you how to find the x-intercepts using the quadratic formula.
The quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The first problem we can do is x squared minus 3x equals negative 8. The first step to solving this would be to add 8 to each side, making your equation equal to 0. So you now have x squared minus 3x plus 8 equals 0. The next step you would do is to use the quadratic formula. B is this value here. So you do x equals negative b, and since it's negative, it'd be positive, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 3 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2a. Now that becomes 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 32 all over 2. 9 minus 32 is negative 23. Since the value under the radical, the discriminant, is negative, that means you have two imaginary solutions. To solve this, you would have to take out the negative using imaginary numbers. So you would have x equals 3 plus or minus the square root, or 3 plus I square root of 23 over 2. And your x-intercepts would be at 3 plus I square root of 23 over 2 and 3 minus I square root of 23 over 2. And there you go.
Another example we could use is f of x equals 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. By plugging it into the quadratic formula, we'll have x equals negative 12, since the b is a positive, plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4ac, which is 4 and 9, all over 2a. After that, we will have negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 144, since 12 squared is 144, minus 144, since 4 times 9 is 36, times negative 4 is 144, all over 8. Then we'll have x equals negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 0. Since the square root of 0, we'll have one solution, all over 8. Then we will have x equals negative 12 over 8, which is also x equals negative 3 over 2. And there you go.
One final example we could use is x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, so the first step of this would be to use the quadratic formula. So x equals negative b, which is negative 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 5 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 3, all over 2a, which is 1. Now we have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 plus, because you're multiplying negative 4 by negative 3, so that's positive. So 25 plus 12 over 2. Now we have x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 37 over 2, which we can split into two equations, and they are negative 5 plus the square root of 37 over 2, and also negative 5 minus the square root of 37 over 2. Now, to fully solve these, we would have to put it in decimal form, so you would need a calculator. So you'd have negative 5 plus the square root of 37 over 2. And your first x-intercept would be at 0.54, since you round the 1 down. And the second x-intercept would be negative 5 minus the square root of 37 over 2, which is negative 5.54. And there are your x-intercepts.